Well, after Pat McAfee cuts his own balls off on live TV and selling out Aaron Rodgers.
Now you're an asshole.
Thank you, ESPN. Libs.
Oh, shut up, Karen.
It's what you wanted, right? Fuck! I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this. It's what's next. Hey, what's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday today, and of course, this is the weekend edition. Well, it's been one heck of a week for the knuckleheads over at ESPN. Between Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel, Jeffrey Epstein, where was this going to end? Well, it ended when Pat McAfee decided to chop his own balls off on live television and throw Aaron Rodgers under the bus. But of course, he says it was all him. Yeah, no, it was ESPN. But liberals, sports fans, you got what you wanted. Aaron's gone. This coming from Outkick. Liberal sports fans, I hear you, but do you hear me? This coming from Bobby Barack. Liberal sports fans, I hear you. I hear you. I understand why Aaron Rodgers segments on ESPN, Pat McAfee show, rattled you. I find Rodgers captivating and bold. I agree with much of what he says about the coof, Fauci, vaccines, mask wearing, and woke people. Many of his statements are verifiably accurate. Truth. However, you're right. ESPN is not the place to have those conversations. ESPN is supposed to be an escape, a promotion of games we turn to for entertainment. Waving goodbye to liberals is not a smart business play for ESPN. Liberals watch sports. They pay cable to watch sports. I hear you, liberals. I feel your pain. But do you hear the other half of the country? Do you understand why they have been rattled by ESPN since 2016? I don't think so. Jemele Hill's appearance on CNN this week amused me. She proclaimed that every week you see Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee, it's like you're watching a right-wing talk show.
Every week when you see Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee show, it's like you're watching Newsmax. And I don't... What really is annoying is that he's on a weekly mainstream media platform complaining about the mainstream media censoring him. Sir, you're not silenced. It's just that people think a lot of the things that come out of your mouth are stupid.
Says the racist clown. Hill's emotional diatribe is consistent with what most critics say about Rodgers' appearances on ESPN. Former employees, media journalists, and athletes are aghast to see Rodgers voice conservative-adjacent opinions on a sports network. Yet, this group rarely, if ever, challenges ESPN hosts and guests for providing left-wing sports talk. At ESPN, Jemele's far number outweigh the Aarons. Let's take a look. Was there any outrage when ESPN host Sarah Spain called 5 Tampa Bay Ray players bigots for not wearing the Alphabet Pride jerseys because of their religious beliefs, just like players in the NHL and their teams? Or when Ellie Duncan interrupted a college basketball game to protest the erroneous dubbed Don't Say Gay bill, which of course never was. Or when Duncan used the ESPN studios to urge girl dads to speak in favor of their daughters getting abortions in all 50 states. Yes, going to the death mills. No, not even a raised eyebrow. There was no such outrage when Max Kellerman called Donald Trump supporters susceptible to very low quality information and easy to propagandize and almost immune to facts.
And I disagree because he would simply shift blame, and because the pandemic is raging, and they seem to be
the pandemic.
Susceptible to very low quality information and easy to propagandize, and almost immune to facts.
Nor was there when J.A. Adante declared red state voter laws worse than CCP torturing, raping, and killing Muslim Uyghurs. Yes, for all you know, that would be the Chinese government. Journalist and Hill said nothing when Stephen A. Smith lied about January 6 death tolls and defended the Black Lives Matter riots. Other than Outkick, no media outlet has questioned why ESPN allows Mark Jones to tweet that conservative women are skanks, that Rush Limbaugh deserves to rot in hell, and that Ron DeSantis is a member of the Klan. We would still like to know. By the way, we asked ESPN for a comment. Its PR team did not respond. Malika Andrews belittled conservative Supreme Court Justice on ESPN. Mina Kimes endorsed Democratic politicians for elections. Bomani Jones covered Donald Trump's arrest. ESPN honored mental ill athlete Will Thomas during Women's History Month for swimming against women, but informed Sage Steele she couldn't tweet about her opinion to the inclusion of men in women's sports. Because it's all fair, right? Note, Steele's opinion speaks for 70% of the country according to a recent Gallup poll. Sure, liberal sports fans feel dismissed by ESPN right now on account of Aaron Rodgers, but conservatives have felt dismissed for nearly a decade. The corporate sports media isn't bothered by Rodgers' espoused political opinions on ESPN. Everyone in that building understands that. They are furious that Rodgers espoused political opinions that deviate from the one true opinion, pre-approved narratives that all sports figures are supposed to uphold. The hypocrisy is rich. Had McAfee not secured the rights to book his own agents, wink, wink, ESPN would have banned Rodgers months ago. Now, there are places for political regulated sports coverage. There are niches of fans who want their sports mixed with politics, yet the consensus does not. A Yahoo poll, and take it for what you will, found that nearly half the country changes sports viewing habits after leagues, specifically the NBA, mixed politics with sports. Yes, as soon as those like LeBron James and others started bending the knee and grabbing their butt cheeks and spreading them, a lot of the fans tuned out. As a worldwide leader in sports, formally, ESPN is supposed to represent the consensus. Instead, its liberal messaging creeped into its foundation. ESPN was not created for a specific political group, like, say, MSNBC, meaning ESPN should either allow no political opinions or political opinions on both sides. It's called actually being fair. The answer to that question is it should dictate whether it's kosher for Rodgers to voice conservative opinions on air. So I ask, liberal sports fans, do you now see why we reject hearing ESPN analysts simp for trans athletes who are mentally ill, Democrat politicians also mentally ill, abortions, the sexual indoctrination of children mentally ill, and overly anti-white practices? I hope you do so. Very well said. Very well put by one Bobby Brack. The fact of the matter is that ESPN has been a bastion of political left-wing speak for the better part of a decade. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And when the new president of ESPN came in, the new CEO came in, give or take about 3-4 years ago, he said he was going to wipe the slate clean of politics and get back to what ESPN has always been about sports. That lasted for about 15 seconds because everybody and their mother on that show talks about left-wing sports and how the right is retarded and how anybody who follows Trump is an idiot. That's a fact. Anytime you tune it in, somebody's going to open their mouth, like one Stephen A. or the former ESPN Max Kellerman, who's no longer there. Jemele Hill, who spouted off that Trump is a racist and got fired for doing so, yet still creeps on ESPN from time to time. And of course, CNN, the cucks over there will allow anybody who has, the IQ of room temperature to spout off on that show. So really, no one gives a fuck. But at the end of the day, liberals got what they wanted. They got Aaron Rodgers kicked off. But the rebel, I don't give what they say. I'm going to say what I want. Pat McAfee. What happened, Pat? You went on your show and practically, figuratively, chopped your balls off on live TV by throwing your friend Aaron Rodgers under the bus. Oh, I book everyone on my show. I've got total control of that. Do you, Pat? Do you? And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue to spread the word about the show. Help the show continue to grow. And we'll see you next time. Peace.